So Casson is a congressman from Illinois, and he and Cortez, while American pilots were still in the mission, in the skies, called for the impeachment of Donald Trump on Saturday night. While they were doing that. Now, I researched it. If this had been a declared war, those two congresspeople would have been charged with treason. But you can't charge them with treason now. What you can do is bring them in front of the House Ethics Committee to explain themselves. Now, as we told you yesterday, the chairman of that committee is Congressman Michael Guest from Mississippi. And when we called him, he was very disrespectful to us, doesn't care about the issue at all. That was pretty shocking to me. I have no idea why this guy doesn't care about this. I do know that the approval rating for Congress is below 20%, and maybe that's one of the reasons why. Is that the folks don't think that Congress is proactive in situations like this. So I booked a congressperson who is proactive, okay? Her name is Nicole Malliotakis, and she is a congresswoman from New York. Are you as outraged as I am about Caston and Cortez?
Well, I'm outraged by the whole bunch. The fact that they not only did that on Saturday night, but that they had the nerve to try to impeach the president of the United States, 79 members, simply because he wanted to take away Iran's nuclear capability. I mean, whose side are they on? It really begs the question. What is their intention in being in Congress when they don't want to see us being successful in this mission? And the president did not need any authorization from Congress to do what he did. These were targeted military strikes. This was a threat to the United States, the Middle East, the entire world, and it needed to be eliminated. And the fact that the president took this action, by the way, as so many presidents have done before, without congressional approval, whether it's Republican or Democrat, and President Obama was probably the one who did it the most, quite frankly.
Right. Well, look, we went over that, and the War Powers Act clearly says that all presidents have a 60-day window to use military action in protecting the United States. So that's going nowhere. But the fact that these two would have such poor judgment, Caston and Ocasio-Cortez, a total loon. I mean, this woman is so far out there, it's ridiculous. But there's got to be some kind of quality control in the House of Representatives.
They should certainly be questioned for their role. What decision-making processes they go through that they thought this was a good idea.
I'd like to know. This. So I think
that's a very, very fair assessment.
You could bring an action to the Ethics Committee and say, I want to see him in here. And they would have to respect that action. I think if you and you could get others to do it too, I'm sure, did that, then they'd have to haul him in.
Yeah, well, I think that's a conversation that some of the members are going to be having with the speaker to see what our options are and how we can hold these members accountable. And it needs to be addressed because this is actually very serious what occurred here.
Absolutely. You need to send a message, all right, that undermining the American military in a time of when they're on a mission, they could be killed. Because remember, these pilots still in the air. They're still in the air when these two loons did this. And as I said, if it were a declared war, they'd be on charges of treason right now. So when you see all of this craziness, because you know the body, and most Americans watching me right now, all over the world, not only Americans, they're going, is Congress really effective anymore? Or is it so tribal? Is it so divided that there are no standards left? Because the parties hate each other, and the Democrats hate Trump, and Republicans hate the radicals. Is it beyond repair?
Look, I think that there is obviously a lot of division. There are a lot of factions, but we've proven to be successful in holding previous members accountable, whether it was the expulsion of George Santos, or whether it be the censorship of multiple members, whether it be Ilhan Omar being removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee for her blatant anti-Semitism and anti-American actions. Those are just a couple of examples. But what I will say is that even with Bowman, look what happened with him. He pulled the fire alarm, and we censored him, and then he was voted out as a result of the actions. And I think it was because members of Congress amplified what a horrible decision he made in trying to disrupt government proceedings.
Thank you for giving me those.
So we try to do what we can. I mean, it's always difficult, and obviously when you have a slim majority as we do, it's hard to get every single Republican to cooperate, but oftentimes we do see bipartisan support for some of these measures,
Well,
like the ones.
Let's hope this thing goes to the Ethics Committee. One more question about Mandani, because you're a New Yorker. So our flagship radio station is WABC, and I'm doing a big takeout tonight about how radical this guy is and how destructive he's going to be if he does become mayor. People don't understand, and I'm going to do this right after we say goodbye to you, that only 22% of eligible voters showed up. It was 100 degrees yesterday. So he's not a lock to be mayor. But I'm going to submit to you that if this guy becomes mayor of New York City, it is over for the city. The flight of capital out of the city will be historic. I mean, corporations are not going to pay 14, 15% tax, which is what he wants to double the corporate tax now. And he wants a $30 an hour minimum wage. Bodega going to pay $30 an hour? So I wonder what your perspective was on him.
Well, you'll see capital flee, you'll see residents flee, you will see law enforcement flee. This is somebody who has no respect for our law enforcement. Sadly, we've seen a lot of anti-Semitic actions and words as well. And we are very concerned what this will mean at the core for public safety, for quality of life, for affordability in New York City. And my mother fled a communist country. To see somebody who is proud to be a Democrat socialist, but really is a communist, become mayor of the city of New York, an individual who's only been a citizen of this country for 7 years, to become mayor of the most important economic engine of our nation is very scary. The largest city in the world, by the way, does not have at all the experience to run this city. So there's that as well. So we have to do whatever we can to figure out what the next steps are for Democrats, independents, and Republicans to work together to elect someone who can defeat him. And, it's interesting to see how the ticket may turn out here. If Cuomo stays on the ticket, if Adams stays on the ticket, and you have this three-way split, perhaps there's an opportunity for a Republican to get in, even with as little as 30% of the vote. So we need to strategize here, and all common sense New Yorkers, regardless of what party you're from, have to figure out what path we're going to take to move forward to elect whoever's going to be the person who can defeat this guy.
Yeah, even the New York Times says he's too radical. It's crazy. Congresswoman, thanks very much for being a stand-up person. And let us know if you do decide to do anything with the Ethics Committee, because we're very involved with that story, as you know. Thanks again. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.